You're listening to Portland, Oregon's own Nameless Gamers PDX podcast.
Headshot.
We sit around and talk about games while drinking the finest microbrews in the Pacific Northwest. Search for us on Facebook or reach us on Twitter at iLeggedOut. Send us an email to namelessgamerspdx@gmail.com or head over to our website, namelessgamerspdx.com. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nameless Gamers PDX podcast.
Good morning.
Where we sit around and talk about games while drinking the finest microbrews in the Pacific Northwest. Just kidding.
That
was the thing we just heard.
Right.
Hey, but you know what we are going to do? We're going to talk about video games.
Yay.
And probably some other weird shit, because that's just
how we roll.
Seems to be our forte.
Maybe some beer.
Thanks for listening to us. This is a podcast about painting the interior of your home. This is a home improvement podcast, and we're glad to have you.
Well,
yeah,
here. I'm here with
you had
Al
me going.
Borland.
I thought you were going to get me with a Good Morning Vietnam thing. I was waiting for it.
No, Ben, only you have the lungs for that.
I'm here with Richard Karn's House of the Dead star, Richard Karn, who plays Al Borland on our show.
Evening, everybody. Welcome.
And I'm here with Tim Toolman Taylor, also known as
Scott.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then we got fucking Jonathan Taylor Thomas over here is the good looking, good looking one.
Yeah.
Is that guy
He knew
still
when
alive?
to quit. Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah,
I keep seeing like the celebrities that killed themselves that you never knew. Click here and on the certain things. It's
Yeah, that happened.
Like that Facebook.
It always has
stuff,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas's picture, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's dead.
But he's not ever listed on
I've never
that
cared
list.
to click on it. Yeah.
We are coming in hot with that good Scorpio stuff to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
Amongst some other good lovely stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about BetaCon Portland 2017.
Yep.
That's going to be good stuff. But before we get into that, Scott left us with a question the last episode. And the last episode, Scott, what was the question you asked? And what are we doing about that today?
Well, again, we're going to try and answer the question, Tony
Yeah.
and Randy.
Yeah.
We left you with a question of like, favorite Easter eggs or, some of the funner
Right.
Easter eggs
Right.
that you could get. These things have been put into video games about since video games began.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're always fun to find. It can be something simple that you happen to see in the game, like a poster of a funny comment.
Yeah.
That you only see it there, or you have to do something really weird, cause a glitch, and find it.
Yeah.
Go around the room here. Tony, did you come up with anything?
So, as we all know, Capcom, two of their biggest franchises, at least especially early console years, was Street Fighter and Mega Man.
Yeah.
Right.
So in Mega Man X, they actually gave you the ability. You had to find it. You could do the Hadouken with Mega.
Really?
With X. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go into a pod and get it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you could actually throw a fireball.
Hadouken.
Yeah.
You do the
You had to do the-
uppercut. You do the uppercut.
Shoryuken.
Yeah. You could get that one. That one was not as fun. But the Hadouken was always awesome because you're shooting a fireball.
Yeah.
How is it not fun to
that's
shoot
cool.
a fireball?
Yeah. You're pulling out some Ryu or Ryu,
Ryu.
whichever.
Yeah.
And then for what was the other one?
One other that I thought was always kind of funny. Back in Vanilla WoW,
Okay.
you could go into Ungoro Crater.
Ungoro Crater.
So it was like this crater that had dinosaurs. I think Randy might know what I'm going back to.
yeah.
Okay.
There was a quest chain in there where you're helping this guy. He's wearing a green cap and a green tunic.
Okay.
And you're helping him find his
He's
boomerang,
Zelda.
his
Oh, right.
raft,
Or he's Link,
his sword.
excuse
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and because he's lost his memory.
It's not Robin Williams from Jumanji.
No.
Okay.
Well,
But Robin Williams actually is, if you wanted to know, that's an Easter egg. They have a genie in WoW named Robin.
yeah.
Okay.
Really?
For him.
Is
yeah.
it
He was a big WoW player apparently before he passed away.
They also have
he was a
big
gamer.
gamer,
Him
yeah.
and his kid. Yeah.
Well, his daughter's name's Zelda.
and in Shattrath they in Shattrath they have the Harris Pilton.
Yeah.
What?
and the
She sells
the journey not the journey, the Indiana Jones, Harrison Jones.
yes.
Harrison Jones.
That's what they named him.
That's-
Yeah,
yeah. He's basically like an Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
it's great.
What about you,
That's
Randy?
fun.
Or I'm sorry, Tony. Was that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much all I have right
Right
now.
Yeah, no, I went for more of a, like, not so much a glitch as an Easter egg, but like the fucking blood code for Mortal Kombat. Everybody wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that, and the other one was obviously the big one is the 30 lives code.
From Contra.
Konami code.
Classic Konami
Right,
code.
which I don't know if you want to classify those as, those aren't really glitches as much, but they are Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You had
so,
to know how to get it.
Yeah, you don't know how
Yeah.
to get it, but those are my big two.
I was
Okay.
going to say, kind of up there with the Konami code, too, was the old Mario glitch. Super Mario Brothers glitch.
Oh, and off the top of my head, if anybody
Warp the
wants to
Turtle.
know,
Yeah.
just 007-373-5963. If you put that password into Mike Tyson's Punch Out or regular Punch Out, you'll either fight Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream right away. That is the fucking code.
Oh,
Nice.
Straight
you
to the
still
boss.
remember that.
I
huh?
remember. Yeah, I do.
that's good.
What were you gonna say, Tony?
Oh, I was just saying that the turtle shell
Warp the
glitch.
shell?
Yeah, you would you could sit there and just
You could
jump
get
it.
up to 99.
Oh,
The
yeah.
infinite
get-
lives.
Just rack up the lives.
you it would glitch out. It would just start being hexadecimal numbers. You'd have like HE lives,
Yeah.
kind of or whatever.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I had.
Ben?
Yeah, dude.
What'd you come up with? Good looking at the notes. Cheater.
I'm going pretty simple, but it was a fun one. I think it popped up in Halo 2.
Okay.
You could go through the campaign. You had to find the skulls. Mm-hmm. Certain skulls did goofy shit. One of them would unlock the extra dialogue.
Okay.
You could kick on extra dialogue, so all the NPC characters had attitudes when they came to you, and then you could turn on the I think it was Grunt birthday party.
Nice.
Right? So,
Grunt birthday party?
yeah,
Kind of
so all the,
explain
like
this.
every group of aliens that you encounter, there's always like 3 or 4 little the little guys that were grunts.
Yeah.
If you shoot them in the head, they blow up with confetti, and everybody around
nice.
them cheers. It's like, yeah, and you're just like, it was
Kind of satisfying.
That's fun.
That's way
Yeah.
funner than blood and guts.
yeah.
Well, in looking at this, there's way more than I ever thought.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
You know, I was thinking this would be, there's still some in there,
There
but
are a lot
it
of
just wouldn't
Easter
be put
eggs.
in there. Oh my god. Like, I'm scratching my head going through these, and it's
Yeah.
like, these are some honorable mentions. There are so many out there. There's no way we could fit this in like a 4-hour show.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, it's a whole other show.
It's a whole other podcast, to be honest.
Yeah. So I got some honorable mentions. I'm going to throw this out there. Like, the very first, the one that coined the term Easter egg is given to, it's Adventure.
Yeah.
From 1979 Adventure for Atari 2600. It was by, the programmer was Warren, Robinett? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I guess back then, the Atari didn't allow people to put their name on the game.
Yeah, the developers
taking
couldn't put their
credit
names in
for it. So he kind of snuck it in there. Like, you had to do, I forget what you had to do. You had to, like, move a gray dot somewhere, take it back to the home screen, and you'd walk to the right, and there it was. It was programmed by him.
Yeah.
And so when
Slick.
people found it, after he left Atari, Atari wanted to take it back, redo it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
But
Really?
the new head programmer
Was like, no.
director was like, no, leave this in, start making more, guys. Like, put
Yeah.
this in.
Put this kind of stuff in.
Yeah. The one that gets credit,
cool.
the oldest one that is found that gets credit for being the oldest, it was
Yeah.
1977, was Starship 1.
Okay.
Never heard this game before. Apparently somewhere in there on the title screen, you could get him to say, "Hi, Ron." And the programmer's name was Ron
course.
Milner.
Milner. Yeah.
So he's
Milner.
credited for the first one that's known.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of says, like, yeah, there's probably more. It's just
Who
hard to
knows?
find.
Yeah. Well, and,
Yeah.
I mean, there's games that like
Yeah, you'd have to go
26 years
search for
later,
'em, yeah.
they're still finding Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's true.
They just found one for Mortal Kombat in the arcade. There's like a sub screen for the editor to go in and just check weird random statistics
Oh, yeah?
for the game. Like, somebody just found it. It's been there the whole time. Some newer ones, like we mentioned, Samus. She's
Yeah.
a girl. The faster you beat it and you keep looping,
Yeah.
the more clothes she takes off. Mike Tyson. when you guys know the bad bull, the flash, the light flash,
Yeah.
The bald bull,
bald
trick.
bull.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a guy in the crowd.
There's
When the
right?
camera flashes,
There's
that's
two
when
of
he's-
them.
Yeah.
The camera flashes, it's time to punch him. There's another one. The second time that you fight Piston Honda, there's a guy in the background with a beard.
Yeah.
Right before he charges, he will move.
He'll
Hit
like
punch
duck,
and it's just the timing of it.
It's a
You
timing
know.
cue,
And who knows what else there is in there.
There might be
like-
some more stuff deep
it's
in
crazy.
there. Yeah. Let's see.
Meh.
What the hell? That's not right. Woo! Writing stuff down and I don't got it right. Diablo 2.
Oh yeah.
You guys played Diablo 2?
I have not.
Played
There-
tons of Diablo.
I
2.
have
Have you played the
that.
cow
The secret cow level.
The secret
Yeah.
cow
Oh, yeah.
level?
Yeah.
I saw this.
That-
This looked
That's from
interesting.
Diablo.
That started off as a rumor in Diablo.
Okay.
And so the whole reason why it got stuck in Diablo 2 was because it was a rumor in Diablo. It didn't
Yeah.
exist. But then they
So
put
they
it,
made it
they
for
put
two.
it
so
in
they
there.
actually put it in
Yeah.
for 2, and you had to do a
perpetuated
complicated set
itself.
of you had to have like Wirt's leg and then I think a couple of other things. And
his bell, Wirt's bell. I
Wirt's
think.
bell, yeah. You had to have a couple of 2-3 different things, and you had to have the little transmog cube deal, and you would put them all together with like a Book of Town portal or whatever. And-
Yeah, as a matter of
Okay.
fact, for that, in reference to that, recently they just did an event.
yeah. In WoW.
That was kind of a throwback for that in Diablo, like on the console.
yeah.
You could go in and like you can go to the original Diablo 1 dungeons and like you could beat the original Diablo, but there was like it was just like cosmetic shit and like
Yeah.
fun little
Yeah.
stuff you could do. But that was part of it.
Nice.
But they also put in a version of the cow level in WoW too, because it was for the Diablo 20th anniversary.
Really?
Which, it was like
This Cow King just can't die.
Blizzard pulls out all the stops when they go hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Duke Nukem 3D. Ben, you might like this.
Yes.
Have you heard of these? Indiana Jones is in there.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's impaled on a wall.
Yeah.
From I
Yeah.
believe it's it's a room that either opens up after being smashed, and he's
Yeah.
in there, but he's in there somewhere in like a smashed room. He's
Yeah.
up on a spike.
There's also
When you
Chest.
walk by, like Duke Nukem, he goes. Like
His little whistle.
Yeah,
Little whistle.
yeah. You find like a dead
there's
Space
also
Marine too.
I was about to say
from
Doom.
What do you
Doom. It's
it
the Doom
Doom?
Space Marine. Yeah.
There's a Doom guy and there's another one because there were Space Marines in
Alien.
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Yeah. Yeah. He says something.
Oh, you're
pithy
talking.
there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What were you gonna say, Tony?
I was. Yeah. I know they had the Doom.
Doom Space Marine
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Space Marine. Yeah. He's impaled on a
He
wall.
comes at it and he's like, "Armor is for pussies."
They did have the same game. They did have. He walks into a bar. They have the O.J. Simpson chase going on the thing.
I remember that.
That's pretty good.
It's just a white Bronco gif going.
Yeah.
007 has one.
Goldeneye.
GoldenEye. I believe you have to have like a cheat or a hacking device to get it. Some type of like clipping device. I don't know technology. In the Citadel level, they made the island. They made a boat that you could take to get to the island.
Yeah.
To make it easier, they got rid of the boat, but you can still walk across the water to get to the island.
Okay.
Kind of funny. Black Ops, you could break free in the main screen.
Oh yeah.
Zork?
Go play Zork.
Zork.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 had the lake monster.
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
up and shoot the lake, he'll just come up and eat you instead of going out in the boat.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That's cool.
It's pretty interesting. It looks like a giant worm from Dune.
Yeah.
One of the sandworms that comes up and gets
yeah.
you.
Goddamn sandworms.
Sandworms. I hate them too.
The last honorable mention here was Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Okay.
In one of the multiplayer levels,
Yeah.
if you run around and shoot the heads off the mannequins, these like AI robots start coming alive to get you, kind of like the boos in Super Mario World. Like if you turn your back, they'll come at you. If you turn around and stop,
Okay.
you know, it's
Really?
like-
Yeah.
what is that game? Red light, green light. When
Yeah.
you play a kid,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was creepy watching some of these videos because it's turned around, and then there's like 20 of them.
Yeah.
They all just stop.
about ready to get you. It's like, oh shit.
It's like the angel statues on
Doctor Who. I was just thinking
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
The Weeping Angels.
But for me, mine. Okay, so we'll get to mine here. Probably my favorite one would probably be Mortal Kombat 2. The Toasty.
Oh, Dan Forden.
Yeah. Like, as a young kid trying to play the game.
Press down and
that was
start.
probably the first one that I ever heard of. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be on the portal stage.
Yeah.
He's got to come out after a really brutal uppercut and down and start, and you go get to fight Smoke.
Yeah, that's how you fight.
Oh, okay.
That was that's probably one of the most renowned Easter eggs I think there is in that arcade. So Dan Forden, I believe, was like a sound designer for the game.
He was the lead. Yeah, he was the lead sound.
And so he put himself in Portal, and then like in the Portal level, and like he would just pop up when you uppercut an opponent. There is a chance that he'll pop up. It's a pretty high probability that he'll pop up.
Face pops up,
and then you you pull down on the joystick and hit the 1 player or 2 player, whatever side you're on, and then the screen blinks, and it'll take you to you can go fight Smoke.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Smoke.
Was he was just that generic Scorpion Sub-Zero character, but it was great. It was great. And then one other last one. I'm going to go back. I'm going to find this Easter egg.
Yeah.
In Zelda: Link to the Past.
Yes.
I think this holds the record, or close to. It was like 17 years before it was found.
Okay.
There was a kid that won a
Nintendo Power
Contest. So he got his name to be in a room.
Yeah.
Nobody could find that room, and then somebody found it.
Finally.
And there's still debate as to how to get to it, because I've seen people do it, work a glitch that I've seen get to another level, and I saw people doing it where it's like you stand in front of a door, use a bomb, and it blasts you into the room, but it doesn't know where to send you, so it like glitches and sends you to this room. And it's the kid's name was like Chris. Was it Houlihan? Chris Houlihan?
I think so, yeah.
Chris Houlihan? Yeah, so it wasn't until Houlihan rules. It was like 17 years later that this kid finally gets his name seen in that game.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Patches O'Houlihan.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wonder if that kid knew how to get to his
You think he ever got to find it?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to find that out.
Yeah, but that was a Nintendo Power Contest to get your name put in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So those are the funner Easter eggs that I found.
They're great.
I know there's a lot of them out there.
If there's one you like,
still
we didn't
time to
mention
get your answers in.
Drop us a line.
If anybody wants to do that, send us an email, namelessgamerspdx@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at iLaggedOut, or just type it in Google and find a way. It's out there.
You'll find
have
us.
it out there.
You'll find us.
The book face.
You guys want to do some Name That Game?
You guys want to do some playing? You guys want to answer questions for no reason at all?
For no monetary gain?
No apparent reason? Yeah.
For bragging rights.
So let's do some Name That Game, which is going to be a trivia game. Where Ben will ask us trivia questions and we will answer those trivia questions to the best of our knowledge.
I got a couple here.
Sometimes it gets ugly.
Some of them, I'm not looking for the name of the game directly, but it'll be obvious what we're looking for at that point. You understand? All right,
hit it.
Let me make sure this thing works.
Technical check.
All right. So, okay. First question goes like this.
Patches O'Houlihan.
No.
What is a wrench?
In this game, to unlock a special ninja outfit, you have to take pictures of all the students that attend your school. Anyone?
Special ninja outfit?
Yeah.
This sounds really familiar.
This could be called an Easter egg. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that would kind of be an Easter egg.
Anybody?
Oh, is it Bully?
Dude! Apparently,
school.
I don't remember taking pictures in that game, but if you take photographs of all the students, you get a ninja outfit.
There was a photography class that you had to do. That was you'd run around and
take
pictures of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't.
I was thinking.
You didn't
I was
have like a
thinking
camera phone.
of
That's
every ninja game I'd ever seen, and none of it was.
Yeah. And everybody played Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64, he had hats that gave him little powers. You remember how many hats did he have?
5.
Sorry, dude.
Man.
It's not 5.
12.
Wait.
Not 12.
Okay.
You're way high.
Way high.
Yeah.
6.
3?
I'll give you 3. It was 3.
Oh, wow.
3. He had the wing cap.
Yeah.
Let him fly. The vanish cap.
Oh,
invisible.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the metal one.
Make him
made him sink. And like,
Yeah.
were you invincible as a Metal Mario? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
think so.
I don't think you were.
That was Mario 64?
Yeah, on the 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. There was this game was a sequel to the 1980 arcade hit Centipede. Came out
Millipede.
in 1982. Yeah. Do you remember that? Good pull. I was like, really? There's a thing for that?
That sounds fucking ridiculous, but that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ripoff; it was a sequel. That's the sad part. Because there were lots of ripoffs of other games.
And that ruined the franchise after that?
Does anybody remember the name of the expansion pack that added the 5th act to Diablo 2?
Oh,
Saints and Saviors.
no.
I made that shit up. I don't even know if that's a real thing.
I don't know.
I really think it's a real thing.
Oh, Tony's
Bad Out of Hell 2.
Meatloaf.
No idea.
It was something about ball.
Bad Out of Hell?
Something about ball.
Because that's the
give
guy
you-
you fight.
I'm going to give you Lord
Lord of the Ball.
Oh, Destruction.
of Destruction.
Yeah, Lord of Destruction.
Yeah.
That was so they all in Diablo they all had a title. Diablo was like the Lord of Terror.
Yeah.
Ball was the Lord of Destruction.
Oh, okay.
That's what
All right,
that's what I was thinking of.
Couple more for you guys.
All right.
The game manufacturers, if they're old, they were sprouted up. They're founded like in the early 80s, early 80s.
Well, yeah.
The very oldest
Okay.
game manufacturer was founded in 1889.
Okay.
Okay.
Any guesses on who that was and what did they make?
Pinball games.
Bandai.
Looking for a console manufacturer.
Oh. Nintendo. Cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Handmade
punch card.
Hanafuda cards, which I kind of looked up and they're not like
Sorry, I misunderstood
it's
the
a
question.
weird-
I thought we were looking for something else.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so you kind of covered this earlier.
Okay.
You like jerk inadvertently answered my question, but I was going to ask you guys.
I won't answer
before anybody blurts it out. What specifically, or what exactly is the Konami code, and what exactly did it do? Originally, now, it does things on websites, it does things on all kinds of games now.
So obviously it gives you 30 lives in most of those Konami games. And it was
No, just one. Originally, just one. It only gave you 30 lives in the one game.
Correct. What do you ask?
It only gave you 30 lives in Contra.
Contra. Okay.
Because you said games. You remember?
Well, there was a couple games after that they did the same.
Were they-
code-
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple of other Konami games around the same time.
Do you
Okay, so what's your question?
remember the exact code?
It's up, down, left, right. No.
Up, down,
Wrong.
down, left, right,
Wrong.
BA.
I missed that. Say it again.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right, AB or BA.
BA. It's
Okay.
BA.
Select
Yeah.
start.
No select
No,
start.
that's
No
two
select
player.
start.
That's
Yeah.
the two player.
Select start for
No
two
select
player.
start.
Okay.
Wow, you guys are fucking horrible.
Yeah. Like I
It's been
so long
I thought
since I
select
did it.
start
You
was
got it
part of
wrong.
it too.
Yeah.
I thought
Both
select
of
start
you.
was part of it too, and I was like,
It is for two player.
Not.
No, I thought it was.
Well,
Yeah.
because you're always playing two player if it
Yeah.
was Contra.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
Yeah.
why
you
wouldn't
never you never played
Now
Contra
there's
without
now
it.
there's you can
do
you
if
can
you're
take
alone.
it to Konami
Sure.
website, take it to
Yeah.
any website, and it probably does something. Just type it in the keyboard, and if you're using a PlayStation instead of BA, you get I think you get whole pizza and pizza to go.
Yeah.
Because
Whole
for
pizza
some
and
reason
slice?
PlayStation has weird buttons on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
Pizza.
yeah.
Sweet.
Those are my questions for
Pepperoni.
this
Those were
episode.
all very
Those are
good.
some good ones.
If you have a question for the Nameless Gamers PDX, send it to us, namelessgamerspdx@gmail.com, or, tweet
right.
it to us
That's right.
at iLaggedOut, where we'll
Stump
be
the
happy
Ben.
to add that to our
It's
stuff.
not that hard. I'm pretty stumpable. I'll admit.
We're gonna take.
That's why he hosts.
I'm a little
We're
stumpy.
going to step away and take a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back. This episode of Nameless Gamers PDX podcast is brought to you in part by Casper. I don't know about you, but I value a good night's sleep. If you're looking for a sleep cheat code, we recommend Casper. Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. They're a new hybrid mattress that combines premium latex foam with memory foam, so they're extra comfortable. They also have a risk-free trial and return policy. Try sleeping on a Casper for 100 days with free delivery and painless returns. You can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by visiting www.casper.com/friends/ngpdx. What are you waiting for? Go to casper.com/friends/ngpdx and get your $50 and get started today. Thanks, Casper. And so, Scott, what do we have this week in gaming history?
This week in gaming history, we had a few little tidbits here. You guys are familiar with Dig Dug?
Oh yeah.
I like me a tidbit.
That's a fun game.
Yeah.
I got that on the quick play over there. That was released 1982.
Yeah. Okay.
April 1982.
Yeah, Dig Dug.
Dig Dug. That was a lot older than I thought it was. I thought that was originally
Yeah.
NES.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of those games
no.
that you're like, wait a minute. Yeah. Didn't realize.
You know, if I didn't play it before that, I didn't freaking know.
Dig Dug was an arcade fave back in the day.
Yeah.
I never really got to play it.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it played. I can recognize the screen.
You got a guy, he's got a hose, you stick him in a dude, you pump him up, you blow him up, you dig through some sand. It's good times.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on that plug and play over there.
I just started a Final Lap Twin campaign. I'm going to be occupied for
Yeah, you're going to have to get
1984, Namco releases Gapless, which is the sequel to Galaga. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Gapless? Really?
Gapulous or Gaplo.
Wasn't there a Galaga
Gaplos?
2? Isn't there a Galaga 2?
No. No.
Maybe I'm making
I
that up.
don't believe so. You are making shit
You
up.
might thinking
Okay.
Gladius 2
Yeah.
or Gladius,
Maybe.
whatever it was.
Whatever. All right.
We had next year, 1985, in April, Atari released Game Boy.
Oh, the
No,
original.
not fuck. Paperboy.
Paperboy.
God damn it.
Oh.
Have another drink.
Oh, I was going to say, Atari didn't release Game Boy, but
Paperboy.
where are we going with
And
this?
it had the controller of the bike handle, the handlebars.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
you would originally play the game, like
and it
in
had
the
button
in the arcade.
It had the button.
You'd hit the button
on
to
each
throw.
side.
No, it was me.
So
You'd hit the
I'm
car
looking
and
at the Gapless stuff here.
Uh-huh.
I think it's supposed to be like Galaga Plus,
Plus.
and I think it's like they just decided let's just call it Gapless.
Yeah.
But just to give people that are listening to us an idea of what the
I
hell
get
I'm
it.
looking at here, it's
Yeah,
like it looks
get
like
it.
Galaga Plus.
Like, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, continue the joke.
Later that year, just a few days later, Nintendo of America Enix releases Dragon Warrior.
Oh yeah, I remember Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, that was a good
That
one.
was
Man,
It was a
I
long... What's that?
had that for Nintendo, but I was like, I was too young for that game, dude.
yeah.
That
You know what I
was-
mean?
It was really hard too.
It was very hard for like
an RPG. Yeah.
a Nintendo aged kid. You know, like I didn't have the patience for that shit, nor the know how, and like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it just that,
Because it was like a Final Fantasy, but harder.
like if I went back and played it
Well, it was
now,
an
it'd make a lot more
RPG.
sense. Yeah.
You know, RPGs as a little kid, I'll agree with you. I'm in the same boat. I've never beat Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first,
Yeah,
I
the
never beat
original,
that.
I never-
That was
nope.
way beyond my like comprehension of like thinking farther than
Yeah.
right now.
I think I
You
could
know what
have.
I mean? Like to get there.
I always
just
had a
didn't
hard
have-
time
I
finding
didn't own
the.
I never owned the original NES,
Yeah.
so like I never got enough time. I could go to
Yeah.
friend's house
Yeah.
and play for a few hours, but I was never going to have enough
Yeah.
time to.
I had it, and
Commit.
I played it. I don't
Yeah.
know how many times, but never could get past the get into that ninth
specific
level.
spot.
I played
yeah.
the
No shit?
shit
Yeah.
out of all those games.
I couldn't ever remember where it was because it was like I would get through it, and they had the problem back in the day on those cartridges where eventually the battery would wear out, or
you have to
it
start
would-
over
the
each
memory
time
would
you put it in there,
randomly
yeah.
wipe
Yeah.
on it,
Oh,
and so like you'd eventually have to start over.
you hit the
you
reset.
remember
You
having
hit
a little
reset before
having
power.
a little panic attack, just
Yeah.
a fucking heart attack.
I never had those issues. I got lucky, but
Yeah, I
They were
had
out
it
there
happen
all
to
over
me
again.
once or twice on the
yeah, they were out there.
Zelda.
Yeah.
And then the last big one for this podcast. This was released in Japan.
Okay.
America got it a couple months later. Was Super Mario Land
Okay.
on the
Land.
Game Boy.
Game Boy, yeah.
On the Game Boy.
Super Mario Land was for the Game Boy, yes.
Correct. That was released. I think America got it in June.
That was a pretty good game for the Game Boy.
It was. I've played it a little bit. It introduced Daisy,
Yeah.
which I think early on in our podcasting careers, we were kind of scratching our heads trying to figure out where
difference between
Daisy
Daisy and-
came in, because
Daisy and
it was
Peach.
like
And Peach.
Daisy
Well,
and Peach.
Peach was the princess, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
But Daisy.
Well, Daisy is a princess.
Oh, she is?
She's
Yes.
technically a princess of her land. Like, it's kind of like another land, but it's the same freaking thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the princess has been kidnapped by some weird thing. You got to go find
Look, trying to
Are-
find
are
out
Peach
the
and
Mario
Daisy then
lore
friends?
is a task.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And is Mario
Just let
like,
it go.
in love with one of these two chicks?
No. Well, I believe he's supposed to be in love with Peach.
Okay.
She lets Daisy borrow him to like let him go be the hero of her adventure, but you got to give him back to Daisy.
Have you guys ever heard the theory that
Back
Toad
to
is
Peach.
Toad is dead?
I've heard the theory that Toad is
That's a thing?
Sith.
Oh.
That would be
I've not heard this theory.
would
Tell
be
it to
the
me now.
anyway. No, well,
I'm
I mean,
intrigued by your theory,
this is-
sir, and
this
I
is
wish
like
to
the-
subscribe to your newsletter.
We'll be out next week.
we'll maybe talk about it on a different show, but there is a theory floating around out there that Toad, and I'm talking, when I say Toad is dead, I'm talking like canon wise, that this is like based off of things that Nintendo has.
Like he's an
Laid out.
undead zombie, or he's no longer living in
No,
the
I'm talking like,
story?
I'm talking like, I'm getting into like Zelda timeline type shit where it's like all theory type situation.
Okay.
But there is a theory, if you Google it, that Toad is actually dead now.
Huh.
So that's a thing. I don't know if it's true or not. Probably not.
That's a bummer, man.
But it's a thing.
Yeah.
So
Right? Toad's
Has to
awesome.
be
I
Toad.
like Toad.
anyway,
was
yeah,
Everybody loves Toad.
that is a thing.
That's the thing.
We
So
all
that's
love
what I
mushrooms.
have for this episode of gaming history. We got more to come.
Sweet.
If there's anything that anybody found out, wants to let us know for the next podcast.
Yeah, if there's something relevant
You know-
you thought you wanted to hear mentioned,
Yeah.
let us know.
And still
Or you got that
we
little
still
tidbit
have
for
the
next week or
Yeah.
next episode.
Yeah, we still have another we still got another episode
Yeah.
before April's over.
Yeah.
Hit me up, let me know.
Nameless
I like to
Gamers
learn this
PDX at gmail.com or find us on Twitter at I Lagged Out. Coming up next, we have fucking Tony coming in real hot with some goddamn news.
Give us the news, Tony.
tell us what's up, Tony.
Buffer
So
over here.
the big announcement. The big announcement was
you like that shit?
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Microsoft
yeah.
finally released the Scorpio specs.
Ah, yes.
Couple of the things that I saw on that. One of the things that really made me curious was that it's going to, first of all, it's going to have an 8-core processor, custom x86. So
Okay.
it's a PC processor.
Fast, right? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. Fast.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Very
we're,
fast.
they're saying
we're gonna give these numbers one time up front, and then we'll talk about what that means.
Okay.
Layman's terms,
Some of that is going to
terms that I can understand in just a moment.
Explain it for the regular guys.
so apparently though the processor is about 30% faster.
Okay.
One of the other things too is the video, the GPU, the video cards, whatever you want to call it,
okay.
is about 4 times better.
The graphics processing.
The graphics processing units, yes,
yep.
about 4 times faster, 4 times better.
At just
rendering, yeah.
drawing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you
So-
say like better or faster, are you comparing it to an Xbox One?
Xbox One, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. These are in comparison to the one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The one does okay, but there are
Yeah.
certain games. I don't think it's the one's fault, but certain games they get a little glitchy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's when this will go back to kind of what
I think the
with
fair
numbers.
comparison would probably be to the PS4 Pro, though, numbers wise.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
but they're
that's-
comparing
yeah.
like what I was reading about though they were
Yeah,
comparing
yeah.
it specifically, almost an apples to apples in comparing it to the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the upgrade. The other thing too is it's going to have like 12 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
At GDDR or DDR5 RAM, which is
Yeah.
top end stuff right now.
Dropped a DDT RAM.
DDR.
Really? Oh.
Yes, the Undertaker
Diamond
will be
Dallas
there at
Page.
launch.
Okay, the Dieter. I'm trying to fill in these acronyms. All right.
Double data rate. So
Okay.
it can transfer two in a cycle instead of one.
Dusty Rhodes will be at the launch. He will be in uniform, ready to roll.
The bandwidth channel and the bandwidth channel for that RAM is huge.
Epic. Okay.
It's very big.
It's a very great proportions, which I very much like.
So one of the things that I saw about this specifically was they were comparing Forza 6.
Oh, okay.
They were using it as a test, though.
And in fact, that is the only game I saw.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit of a disappointment, but regardless, we'll get into that later.
Part of that is it's one of their flagship games, Forza,
right, yeah.
The Forza games.
I would imagine their like Horizon 4 is going to really be.
So one of the things that I saw was the Xbox One rendering Forza 6 at 1080p. Stresses the
rendering at
1080p.
Excellent. Okay.
Stresses the unit to about 90% of its power capability. So its output capability.
Yeah.
And this is just the same Forza 6 that's on Xbox One now?
Yeah.
Currently, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You take that.
It looks very good.
Yeah,
You take
I'm sure
that.
it looks a little better. It probably looks much
You
crisper.
take that
smoother.
and stick it on the Scorpio spec machine, and it can output it at 4K 60 frames per second. So same frames per second.
Wow, really?
4K, so 4 times as much display.
Okay.
And it only uses about 60 to 70% of its processor.
Which means
of its graphic capability or
of
its processor?
of its ability
Or is that
to
both of them?
both.
Okay.
Basically, its ability to display
Its total
your
percentage of
screen.
output.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the amount of the resources you're using on the machine.
Which means that there's
pretty damn
roughly
decent.
yeah, there's
Shit.
40% of it just sitting there twiddling its thumbs with the
Yeah.
or, hanging
Well, that
out.
means if
nothing.
like depending on where you are or what you're doing,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
if it hits a hiccup or a bog in any way, shape, or form, it's got
It would be able to
plenty
handle
reserve.
that with no problem.
Absolutely, yeah. I like that.
So, and then a lot of the comment about it too was that even non Scorpio games are going to get a performance boost out of them.
Yeah.
Even every Xbox One game, every 360 game that's backwards compatible will get a boost.
Are all
Yeah.
the Xbox One games backwards compatible with
Yes.
Scorpio?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so all the 360 games that are
Those go
compatible
too.
on
Correct.
the one
Yes.
will work
Yeah.
on the Scorpio.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
So they're not making any sort of fundamental change.
That's a no-brainer to me. Like if you're going to kick out a
Yeah.
new console, you're stupid to neglect your already issued.
So they're not
game
making
library.
any
Yeah.
fundamental change to the hardware. They're just
Okay.
basically putting better version of the hardware in, which is good.
Okay,
I mean,
nice.
And what I was alluding to is, Randy's got the numbers if anybody wants them. Did you want to run those down by us real quick?
Hit me with some numbers.
What numbers are we looking for exactly?
Do we
So
have
the
a
one
price?
versus the
Oh, yeah. So,
The
okay.
Scorpio.
So the most powerful console I think it's on the market right now is with the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give you an idea, numbers to numbers, what we're looking at, the PS4 Pro, we're looking at 8 Jaguar cores at 2.1 gigahertz.
8 Jaguar?
8 Jaguar cores.
At 8
Okay.
Jaguar cores.
those are custom AMD cores, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Custom number?
CPU for the Scorpio is a custom x86 cores at 2.3 gigahertz.
So it's got the same amount
So
of
they're up
processors,
cores, yeah.
just working faster.
Yeah, they're upclocked a
Am
little
I
bit, and
understanding
there's
that correctly?
But there's
Yes.
8 of
Okay.
them, so you have to. There's an exponent there of we're magnifying that gigahertz change also by 8, really.
Yeah.
So there's
each core is
yeah.
running at 2.3.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So
So it's a little bit quicker, in other words, as far as as that's concerned.
Computations and
compared
all that.
compared to the PS4 Pro.
yeah.
Okay.
And this is all with a caveat, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to go through the numbers real quick, but then we'll get to it. GPU is 40 customized compute units at 1,172 megahertz, whereas what the PS4 Pro is using is a 36 AMD Radeon GCN computer unit at 911 megahertz. So there's a higher megahertz number there. I don't
Okay.
know.
Kind of lost me there. For
Yeah, I don't know. What all
The big
that-
thing was
Did you
apparently
say
the output is some
computer or units. Was that a term I heard?
Well, the GPU, I don't think they have the actual. I'm
trying to track here.
So okay, for the PS4, it's using a Radeon chip, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For the Scorpio, I don't know that they know exactly what the hell it is. It's a customized chip that was made.
Oh,
So
it's about the.
it may be
same-
from
It's like a faster radio.
NVIDIA, for instance. I don't know if it
slightly
is.
bigger, yeah.
I'm not throwing that name out there as saying that's what it is. I don't know what it is.
yeah, a lot of
Okay.
the branding hasn't come out yet.
It is a custom chip made for that unit. In other words,
Right,
But this-
okay.
that's much stronger.
The PS4s is also the same way.
That's a two-bladed.
Memory. Let's move on to memory. So memory, 12 gig GDDR5. We already covered that.
Yeah.
8 for your PlayStation 4 Pro.
And for your Xbox, right? Your Xbox One.
And your Xbox One is 8 as well.
Yeah.
DDR3. So it's a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So PS4 Pro does have the DDR5, which is what
It's the newest version.
so 8 gigs there, and then 12 on the Scorpio. So Scorpio has quite a bit more.
A little more
Yeah.
Room.
space to work with.
What I do like is this 326 gigabyte per second memory bandwidth that it uses on the Scorpio versus the PS4 Pro, which still has a hardy 218 gig per second, which is very
Wow.
good. Both of them are
That's a big gap, though.
super high. That is
I mean, you have 870 gig difference between the two.
And performance wise, I think you have to look for those types of gaps when you're looking at these numbers, because that is pretty stand out to me.
Yeah.
That means that it's gonna it can move pretty fucking fast if it needs to.
It can move a lot of data very quickly between the memory and the processing power.
Yeah, and that's
processing
that
cores.
that can be a super good key for like games that need to buffer and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's a performance enhancement overall. Hard drive, we're looking at a terabyte, 2.5, same as the Pro. Same terabyte, 2.5 drives.
2.5 inch. Yeah.
Yep.
Is it going to work any differently than the one? Because like we talked about this before. I had to buy external memory because my 500 GB filled up quickly with the games I had, because you have to install the games and they make them huge.
Yeah.
Some
so
games are like 80 gigs.
yeah. So this one comes with the terabyte, and then I'm sure if the one has expandable drive and the PlayStation 4 Pro has expandable drive, it'd be silly for them not to allow you to do that.
I wonder if I can take my external drive is like a 3 terabyte.
Yeah.
I can probably plug it right into the Scorpio.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
okay.
I'm thinking that will be something that's available on launch.
Yeah.
Because that was such a big, like in demand type situation for this last gen.
Yeah.
Well, and especially since the internal drives, there when you first bought the one, there was no option for something other than a 500.
I like the idea.
And
I
there was no
downloading games
swappable.
anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't have to.
And then
swap
the other
discs
big
to
difference
change
is
games.
that the Scorpio comes with a 4K ultra high definition Blu-ray player, and the PS4 Pro just doesn't have it.
doesn't do.
It does have a Blu-ray player, but doesn't have
doesn't have 4K.
doesn't have 4K.
not the
output.
4K. Yeah.
So it's the same reason why people are going to the 1S, or one of the main reasons why people are going to the 1S versus the PlayStation right now, which is that it actually does come with a 4K Blu-ray output. So, but and
I don't have a 4K display yet, so
yeah, and I mean, if but I want to tell you guys something. I don't know if you know or not, but like 1080p TVs have been out of production since 2016. So if you come up to so like they're out of production now. That's why if you go look online and try to find
a new TV,
you may find.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What brand is that?
It's an RCA.
It's an RCA.
Yeah.
They've been bankrupt since 1987.
Go find go find a new TV from like LG or like another
Sony.
just another like RCA probably had a backstock. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I'm betting,
which is why they're probably blowing them out.
It was reduced,
right?
Yeah.
So
and you're going to find that on probably every brand.
so you're going to
right
find
now.
that. Believe me, I've looked on
Now's the
Amazon
time to go
recently.
pick up your 1080p displays.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find them, because I've been looking on Amazon and I've been looking online.
can't find them.
What I've found is that if there is a 1080p TV out there to be found, unless I want like a super cheap blowout type unit, you don't find them anymore. It's all going to be 4K plus. So so that's the thing I learned is that they stopped producing those type of TVs, and we are moving on. I guess that's a thing that the industry decided to just go ahead and do. I didn't know that. Nobody fucking gave me that memo. So I just found out.
You didn't get the memo?
No. So I just found out. So
Get you a copy of the memo.
You didn't get that memo?
so that being the case, I think I'm going to be basically pigeonholed into when I change out my TV. If I decide to do that at any point here in the next few months, I'll be basically forced to upgrade, which is fine with me. But I don't know if the Scorpio is going to be a thing I'm going to do. I don't know if that would be like a thing I would want to do. Like I have the one that's good, but I'm just not. I'm not a fanboy. So
I think you're better off just taking your time.
I don't need
just like with the Switch or with every first launch, there might be some bugs. There might be some.
Well, and the thing is
failures,
that and I wanted to go on. I had a caveat at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
That's this right here is that Nintendo just launched the Switch and they have probably one of the best games of all time that launched with it, which is that new Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Which doesn't require you to have
One game.
a 4K TV, which goes to prove my point, which is what I've been harping on a lot. Is
you don't
that
have to have 4K.
you don't have to have like great graphics to have a fucking good game. Just make a good game, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of developers
Or forgetting this.
especially, and I feel like it's especially susceptible, like it's a susceptible trait for like console developers, that they're trying to really push that hardware to like show what it can do. I really don't give a shit. Just make a good game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't see that enough.
Yeah.
So
Let it sit. Let the console exist for 5 years. Give us a few good games before you're telling me the next max out stats of the next console.
we don't need to know that. As a consumer,
let's
we
see
really
this
don't
one
need to
do
do that.
something first.
As a consumer, when I pay $60, I want to get $60 worth of game, and it seems like over the last 5 years, that's been fucking hard to do.
Dude, you pay $60, you get a $40 game, and then there's two $20 fucking
Add-ons.
DLCs that come out. They're available the day of launch.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you. Anyway,
So there's
I
two
digress.
there's two schools of thought when it comes to that. Is that we're not getting that. You're right. When you pay $60, you expect to get a $60 game. I expect the same. That's not happening. But what is happening is there's two schools of thought on this. One is let's launch the game. A la like Mass Effect Andromeda, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mass Effect. I'm going to go off on you for a minute, but now they're
I haven't. Have you been playing?
They're dropping. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Okay,
But they're patching this game right now.
Oh, no.
To fix a lot of the issues that were there at launch.
Really?
Now here's my gripe about it.
Okay.
I read through the list of shit they're fixing. The list of shit that they're fixing is longer than it should be in the amount of time that it took for them to get the complaints and make these fixes. Which means
really?
that these fixes they just weren't there at launch. In other words, they sold this game incomplete. I feel like.
Knowing. They're
feel like-
probably trying to meet a deadline.
And so they squeeze this thing out. They push it out. And then now, yes, they're giving it to the people that want it. That's one way to launch a game. The other way to launch a game is to launch a game like Destiny, where you launch it and you're doing the same thing essentially, but then you're not real sure where this game's going over the next few years, but you got to take it somewhere, right? This thing was supposed to go places. So now you're like, well, let's just drop this DLC and charge for it. And when we sell this DLC, we'll use that money to manufacture the rest of the game, and we'll just keep doing this over and over. And that's what they've been doing. So,
Then you have there's that third approach too, where it's kind of what Blizzard has been doing for a long time, which is you make sure the game's fucking done before you ever release it.
Before it goes to public, it's been put through the ringer.
Yes.
I don't remember. I mean, there are Blizzard patches their software from time to time for glitches and shit like that.
But they'll do hot fixes.
But when they drop a DLC, it's not to correct shit that's wrong with the game.
Right.
It's to give you extra content, which is what DLC should really be.
Yes.
Right? So there's really a few different approaches that these devs are coming up with that are just kind of really weird to me. And I don't feel like that warrants my $60, you know. So
saying they're taking like an LGN approach to modern games.
Yep.
But they're attempting to be able to fix them?
I would say that they're no LJN games like back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, do you think LJN?
No, those LJN games were bad. They just got lucky and had a good license.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, back then you couldn't release a patch to fix it. They're kind of approaching it like, we're going to make something, we'll fix it as we go here.
No, LJN was not. They were just that was already in place. What goes out in a cartridge goes out.
Yeah.
So you're doomed to that fate. Whatever.
Well, that's like the starter approach
update automatically anyway. Like it's
well, the reason
it doesn't need to be a DLC.
reason LJN only made money back in the day was because they had all the fucking movie licenses.
Yeah.
So they were selling like, oh, here's the fucking Karate Kid game. Enjoy. And then you go buy it because you were fucking loving that Karate Kid at that time.
You bought the box.
It was
going to
be
Ralph Macchio,
baby.
They just preyed on people. Like, oh, you like Back to the Future, huh? Here you go. Fucking dig on that.
It looks good up on the shelf.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
playing it. I'm just going to put it up on the shelf.
I think there's a Back to
Probably
the Future for the Xbox.
Yeah, there's
Just horrible reviews on gameplay.
there
Just
are
bad.
Japanese versions of Back to the Future games actually.
Yeah.
And I'll share that with you at some point. But anyway, yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's my rant and rave on that all that shit.
Well, and then
Did they fix? Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Did they fix the face shitty animation? Did they fix
So-
that? Did they fix that? That's the one thing we talked about last week. It was like,
I haven't played it.
did they
I've
fix
heard
it?
that they
Tony-
have, but
Okay.
Tony,
I actually
didn't know
haven't.
if that was on the
I
list
haven't
of
actually
fixes.
played it since the patch dropped,
Okay.
and I never really
Fixes.
noticed like absolutely terrible, like the terrible facial animations that people are.
Yeah.
And the videos I've seen where like shit just starts glitching out. Maybe I haven't gotten
okay.
in far enough on it.
Oh, okay.
But
You need to play more.
well, it's like we were talking about last episode too. Is that this shit's not going to happen to everybody? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
No,
like
yeah.
if you like the game, go get it and play it. You know what I mean? Like regardless of reviews, like if you're a fan of the franchise, I
you'll
say
be happy.
go get it. Yeah, I mean you're
you'll
gonna
put
like
up with
it.
a lot of
So
stuff at this point. If you're a fan of the game, you're gonna like.
I feel like you have a little bit more, patience and forgiveness for mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're a fan of it and you want to play it, you'll I think you'll have a little bit more leeway as far as like whether or not you really like it or not, and you're willing to give it a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the case with any game. You know what I
as
mean?
long as the gameplay is fine, you don't care
Yeah.
about terrible animation. I mean, we all played Star Fox. We all know about bad lip sync.
Yeah. Look out!
Do
a barrel roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I had a version of that I played the other day that actually had, it had Dragon Ball Z guys transposed on it, which was weird. All right. Not going to mention where that was at, but it happened. So, BetaCon 2017 is coming up. That's a thing.
This is our first one.
That's going to be a bit. It's
the
It's
first
the
one.
first one.
I'm very excited.
This looks fun, dude.
It's gonna be good.
Kind of stoked
It's
to
gonna
go
be
to this.
It's gonna be work. It's gonna be a couple days of work.
April
but we
15th
will
and
have
16th, everybody.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be over Easter weekend. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna it'll be a thing. We have families and things that we need to tend to, obviously. So there will be a little bit of back and forth. Luckily, it's in our town in Portland, so we don't have to worry about getting a hotel or travel or anything this time, which is very nice. And this is the first one they've actually had here, which we've been invited to cover. We've got a couple, or we have an interview so far scheduled with the developer. We'll have more on that to come. If depending on what they tell us and stuff like that. It's very exciting. It'll be good. It'll be good. We're gonna be there. I'm gonna try to be there all days. I'm probably not going to go Friday. I don't think that it is Friday. I think it's just
No, it's
Saturday,
just Saturday,
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. So I'll
Saturday, Sunday would be cool.
prepare Friday. I don't know if we're recording that week or not. If we are, we
I don't
may.
think we are. I think that's an
Okay.
off week for us.
Okay.
No, that's next week.
Oh, it is. It's next week.
next
Shit,
week, right?
You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That is next week. So
That works out pretty good that way.
Yeah. So that works out. So you won't miss anything from us on that. Which is
Next
which is
episode will
very
actually
good.
have some information about it.
Yeah, some highlights.
And then, Bad Yeti Media is kind of our parent
company.
and they're the ones sending us kind of on assignment for that. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything else to. Anybody else have an announcement or anything they want to talk about or?
Oh, I should clear up something. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Because remember last.
Are we
I
starting
think-
to do? Are we starting to do editorial mistakes?
Hey,
Corrections,
I'll say,
editorial
corrections. Not a correct. Well, yeah, it's a correction. Last episode, I think I mentioned that I recognized Dirge in
Yes.
The Force Awakens.
Yes.
And I I had a chance to go back and just double check. I played the fucking episode because I have it on DVD from the animated Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And while it is very similar, it's clearly not
the same
him.
person.
Yeah, it's not him. I was
sick son of a bitch.
You goddamn
it's close
liar.
enough, but
By the way, I do have the Blu-ray version of Rogue One with the extras and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you guys didn't get that, I'll have to bring over the
extras.
extras and stuff. We'll pour through that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like that kind of shit.
See what that is.
And you
Word.
guys
Yeah.
seen any good? I mean, we're talking
Anybody
movies.
playing anything new?
Oh, what? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys been playing anything new?
I haven't.
I got some fun.
I just dabbled in that Far Cry Blood Dragon just to fire it up and see some classic 80s mayhem, which was not disappointing at all. It was great. Yeah, it takes you right into the heart of exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I downloaded the, what's it called? The Son of Rome one. I haven't got to play
Rise
it.
of Rome.
I'm looking forward to playing that.
It's called Rise, I think.
Rise. Yeah.
I've seen that. What kind of game is that? Is that a fighting?
Just a hack and slash.
Like a hack and slash?
Yeah, it's like a hack and slash RPG level up. You're going to become king eventually.
Kind of
some
like
shit.
Conan.
Yes,
like that style,
Yes,
like a
but
hack
I
and
don't
slash.
think it will be as good because Conan was that Conan game was awesome.
You
I'm not gonna lie, that
Conan
game was
on your,
fun as hell.
You put that on your cover. You got some balls to live up to, man.
Yeah,
that's Conan.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody playing anything? You
well,
anything else?
yeah. Actually, last week we talked about older games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tony, this is kind of hilarious. I go out shopping for games and toys and such like that every week. We talked about last week. We talked about RBI baseball.
Yeah.
We talked about Blades of Steel.
Yes.
I found both of those games.
Blades of Steel.
I picked up Blades of Steel,
I have that
and
as
I
well.
picked up RBI baseball.
You gotta have
Nice.
it.
Oh,
They're both fucking great games.
Yeah.
Definitely Blades of Steel
Are these-
is better.
Are these
than
NES ports?
NES.
Okay.
No.
No,
These
the
are-
actual
these are actual
cartridges.
cartridges.
Right.
These go in
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
NES.
Well, yeah, but Blades of Steel was actually an arcade game as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other one, but yeah. Yeah.
RBI, no, I don't think it was.
Yeah, probably
we'll get into RBI in a second. Blades of Steel. Oh my freaking god! They're like, it's been so long. It's fucking great.
Such a good fighting game.
Such a good. It's an average fighting game. Trust me, if I bring it over and play
Yeah.
it, you'll be like, oh, this fuck. It's funny, but you
don't have to. It's sitting right over there.
You get angry playing it, but it's definitely great, man. Just to play that game
The
again.
old school.
I put on a tournament.
Oh.
I don't think I ever played a tournament when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
But I spent some time playing that and just
Made it all the way through?
fucking childhood come back. dude.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
right on.
and I won. I was like,
Nice.
dude, I won my first tournament in like 20,
Nice.
20 years, dude. I was just ecstatic, dude. Jessica wasn't home, and I was just walking around the house, just,
Yeah, who's
fucking
bad now,
chest out.
motherfucker?
What? Fuck your shit. That was great.
Just dick hanging out.
How do you play video
Hey,
games?
however you like to play, man, that's cool. I
mean,
put the
yeah.
chair in front of the TV.
I'm a
but
fucking dick
I'm
swing.
clothed. I'm not crazy or anything.
Whatever.
You got a
I'm
kid
pretty
around, he
tame,
might
I guess.
fun as shit.
Yeah. I usually have a kid sleep somewhere, so
What do you think that hole in your boxers is for? Fucking video games,
There's
bro.
a button. There's a button.
man, I've been doing it wrong my whole life, man. I thought that was for like peeing or something.
Nah.
Shit. Just backwards my whole life.
Whoa.
Fuck.
And then so I also picked up RBI baseball, which I was like, dude, that's the best fucking baseball game. It's still great compared to a lot of them out there. There's one thing I'm missing, and it's kind of pissing me off here. And I don't know how to fix it, or I don't know if it's something I just imagined, or if other people imagined as well. So RBI baseball was released by Tengen, the black. You'll probably recognize them most as the black cartridges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are not licensed.
Right.
Those are made by Atari Games and Namco.
Okay.
They were released. They released a bunch of them, like Pac-Man Gauntlet was
Yeah.
originally it.
This is before they went
2
to
and
court.
3. This is
Yes.
before they went to court.
Yeah, crazy.
They eventually, at some point in time, they went to court over like the licensings of it. I'm gonna throw it out there. The Game Historian has a great episode on that. Go watch that. Like, I mean, just go watch any of his stuff.
Thanks, Norm.
And Norm, you're awesome. Like, all your stuff, I've watched a bunch of them. They're all freaking great.
Yeah.
He goes way in depth, and you can see a little bit more with him. But yeah,
whole
it's
history on that.
unlicensed, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't also know that they still made gray cartridges.
You can still buy them
You
now
can
today?
you can get. They eventually were like, no, back then there were.
okay.
There was a
released
black and a
cartridges.
gray?
There's a black and a gray.
Right.
The black was like the front of them. They're black. They looked pretty much like it, but instead of it being squared off, it was kind of rounded.
You can Google image that too if you haven't seen a
Yeah.
Tengen.
Tengen, Tengen,
and they're like black, and they have a gold like colored.
It's more of a gold label on there
with red writing usually.
Yeah, and I don't believe anyone's more rarer than the either or, making them more expensive.
It
But
pops up Tengen Tapa Gurin Lagan.
Oh,
Yeah, that thing.
I don't know what that is.
Sure.
See if that.
I know Gauntlet had a version of that as well. I actually had
Gauntlet.
some Tengen cartridges back in the day.
I never had one.
did.
I didn't either. I didn't even
Gurin
know.
Lagan is
So
it's an anime.
I saw it and I was
just
like,
went
yeah,
down
I
a
want to
deep
buy
hole.
that.
No.
I am looking to expand. I broke the NES, broke the old systems back out of the box.
Yeah.
Get them up there with all my shit. So I saw it black and I was like, I want it. I'm going to get it. I never had one as a kid. I swear to God, you could run in that game. I
Maybe it's a
swear,
bad
if you were
version.
running at the if you were running to the ball,
In
you
what
could
game?
RBI baseball.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God, you could go like, you're pointing the direction, but
Yeah.
you're like tapping A, B,
Right,
A, B, A,
right.
B.
Oh, to make you go faster
to
kinda
like
thing?
run. It's not doing it for me. And this
Oh,
is
totally. It's like
driving me
angled at the top.
insane.
It's got
Did you
a
ever
black,
play
It's
Tecmo baseball?
it's the top is a different shape.
No, but
Okay.
Tecmo Baseball, I've
was
watched
just
a few about
Crazy.
him. A little different. It is the RBI that I am thinking, like the short, fat little guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
swear
That's
you
definitely
could
it.
like be like run. It's not working for
I wanted
me.
to say it was like B, just B.
Just
But
B.
yeah,
I'll
man,
try
but I don't
that.
know. I
Like,
don't know. I don't know.
It's been so long. I mean,
Yeah, it's
trying
been
to
a
get
while.
him
30 years ish.
Yeah, trying
Yeah.
to get him to run to get the ball, and it's becoming a little tricky to try and beat like the first inning because
Yeah,
you get like one run, and then the fucking other team gets up, and you're just like, yep, reset.
Yeah.
Doop. There we go. Shit, I
You're
gotta
gonna get 9 of
play
them.
this game and play this
Right.
game.
but yeah, all right. Tony, do you have anything you've been playing? I know you had
Well,
something you'd mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes.
I'm probably about 10, 12 hours into it at this point.
Okay,
That's a series.
a hearty
that's a good session.
start.
Well, it's been over quite a few days.
Yeah,
It came out, I think, last week.
it is a
Right.
hearty start.
Yeah.
We'll say.
A few.
Is it one of
I think
those
was-
like just mass tutorials in the beginning, or
Not
like,
really.
you know this game, just shut up and start playing it?
more of a shut up and start playing it.
Nice. That's good.
Having actually played other Mass Effects, I did crank up the difficulty level a little bit.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so
Putting on your big boy pants.
Yes.
This is where the hole in the boxers comes in. You
Yes.
show some sack there. All right.
exactly.
Tony's unbuttoning the button.
Are the terrible
are we
animations
on?
harder?
yes, they are.
Are they
Something's
more
harder.
difficult? This animation's more difficult than normal, and it's bad.
One thing. So what they did in this one, because it's an EA game, they've used the DICE Frostbite engine,
Okay.
Okay,
which is what's been used in Battlefield 1.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That was definitely
I'm familiar with the Frostbite 2.
Which is that's a
Yeah.
good looking. That can be good looking.
It can be very good
Yeah.
looking. One of the things, though, compared to the old like Mass Effect 2 and 3, like to hunker down, you'd actually have to hit a button.
Okay.
So you got real used to hunkering down.
No. Hold on.
Hunker?
To hunker?
Yeah.
What is what do you
to
mean
crouch,
hunker?
Crouch.
to crouch behind a barrier.
Get behind a.
So in this
an
game, you have
object.
to push a button to crouch.
No.
Oh,
No, in this one, you actually cannot crouch unless you walk up to
A crouch button is a good thing to have.
unless you walk up to a barrier of some sort.
Can be.
okay.
And then you'll
crouch button
depends.
Anyway,
Overwatch has a crouch feature, and I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah, if you don't want to use
You
it,
gotta
don't have to
crouch,
push
man.
it. But
What the hell are you using
your
that
crouch
for?
button should never be associated
If
with
you
your
hit that
jump
button, you did it wrong.
button. If your crouch button and your jump button are the same, there's a problem with the game. You don't want
Is
to play
that?
that. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So in this one, it's much like your Battlefield 1, where you don't, like, you run up to cover and it'll automatically cover.
Auto
You
cover,
don't you don't get the button select for
Okay.
cover.
Right.
Okay.
So,
I guess
that's
is
a
that
little,
kinda handy, or is that
it just took a little bit of getting used to,
yeah.
because it's different than 2 and 3,
you just kind
where
of
you would have to
know
do it.
How long it takes to kick in?
Yeah.
and you're waiting. Yeah,
And I mean, it's DICE. It kicks in right away. I mean, you hit the right spot, you're going to be in cover.
okay.
Yeah. And to be clear, you're this is the PC version. As well.
Correct. Yes. But it's the same for consoles. There is no cover button,
Okay.
The jetpack, instead of your standard jump, is a little weird. Like,
You have a jetpack?
you have a jetpack.
I hear it can be. You can be quite mobile.
You can be very mobile. There's a jetpack dash that you can do, as well as your jump, and you can actually kind of do them together. So you can jump and dash, or dash
Right
the
on.
jump, which is pretty cool. Some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Tracking.
Yeah,
What are you?
Randy's
For
being
everybody
weird
that
over
can't
here.
see, Randy's about to like break his own knuckle.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
I triple dog dare you to
snapping
smash your knuckle
knuckles,
with that
bro.
wrench, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Anyway.
Bust the knuckle.
But it's got a lot of similarity to the old ones, but there's
Okay.
something different. A little bit different. Randy, you been playing anything?
No.
All right.
No?
Life.
I put out a video on Overwatch.
Okay.
Oh, I watched that about the how to set up Lucio.
Yeah, the Lucio console control video is out there. You can find that on our YouTube channel. If you haven't found our YouTube channel and want to find it, then
Go find it.
Go look for Nameless Gamers PDX
On YouTube.
on YouTube, and then there will be there will be a
There's a
video about Lucio as the most recent video. You'll know
Yeah.
right away.
Once you watch it, you'll get a phone call.
It is good. 7 days. Hey guys, I want to tell everybody something real quick before we go.
What is
to,
it?
To what Ben's been playing.
I feel like there should be a clap beat going on.
Did you already say what you've been playing at all?
Dun, dun,
Have we
dun.
got to what you've been playing?
No, we didn't do that yet.
We loaded
okay.
that blood dragon.
All right, yeah.
Far
Oh,
Cry
yeah.
3.
Okay, so anyway, I want to tell everybody a little trick on the internet. If you're on the internet and you're listening to our podcast, right?
Uh-huh.
If you go to www.patreon.com/ilaggedOut,
Is it a forward slash or backslash?
this is a forward slash. Just your
Typical
Like
slash.
you're going to the directory.
Starts high and ends up forward.
You will find there a Nameless Gamers PDX podcast Patreon page where if you want to get involved with the show, want to get in touch with us, you can help support the show there. You go
Sponsor
there,
a segment. Hey.
and do that. We would greatly appreciate it. If you can't do that though, if you don't want to do that, go to iTunes, go to whatever your poison, Spreaker, wherever you
Stitcher,
listen to, Stitcher,
Google Play.
all that good stuff. Leave us a review. Good positive review goes a long way.
Give them 5 stars.
Yeah, and we really want to stick around. We want to keep bringing content like we're doing today for these shows, and that will really help us be able to do that.
If you
as
want
well
to
as
say something bad, make sure it's just about Tony.
If you're saying something bad,
Yeah.
just-
we like
just-
hearing how much Tony
Just
sucks.
limit it to Tony.
yeah, just limit it to one
Please.
guy.
Or if there's something you want us to
If
discuss
you
in the
can.
topic that you would like
Yeah.
to be discussed.
Hey,
let us
email
know.
me. Tell me what your fucking favorite food is. That's something we can talk about that on the show. We're kind of moving on a little bit from the podcast. We're gonna still be doing this obviously every other week, but we are gonna try to be bringing more content. We're gonna be doing obviously event coverage and stuff like that going forward. With BetaCon coming up and everything, that's kind of our little breaking
Launching
point and
pad,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. So we're looking forward to do that. Does anybody have anything else they want to add before we move through?
No, man.
No.
To that question.
Anything else? Tony, you have anything you want to add?
Yeah.
I know you're looking like
No, I was just wanted to ask Scott what his question was.
What is question?
What's his
Mr.
question?
Scott?
What's his
we-
question?
did we have one?
Yes, we do.
Is this? Oh, okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We all know it's springtime. It's
Yes.
Easter's, and there's some sunshine out here in Oregon. We've had a few
Starting
days.
to get
Shows up,
a
it
bit.
shows up for hours at a time. Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes at a time, then it goes back to like 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah. Trees falling on cars.
Powers
water
out.
falling out of the sky, slapping you in the face.
You know, but it's springtime. Everybody wants to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to get out of the house, but they want to still play outdoor games. Those games would be, Tony? Sports games. We just talked about
Yeah.
two great sport games. I kind of want to know, some of your top picks.
Okay.
Give me some top picks of sports games.
games?
Let's include anything. It can be a made up stupid game.
All right.
It can be some fake ass like dodgeball, volleyball, baseball, basketball, football, hockey.
Yep.
If it's a
Racing.
sport, if it's some racing, if it's in there, let's get it. Let's give me some of the good ones. I want to know some of the really bad ones too.
Okay.
Okay. I want the full gambit.
The full story.
The full Monty of sports games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Give it
if
to me.
you're emailing
me.
that full money business, make sure it's not in picture form and send
Unless you're
that
ladies.
on to us
you're a lady.
at namelessgamerspdx@gmail.com. Anybody else have anything else? Great question, Scott. I think I like it.
Thanks for
keep that in
joining us.
mind. Remember that. Thanks for joining us. Take some time to subscribe to our podcast. Leave a review if you can. We very, very much appreciate it. I can't express enough how much that means. That is fantastic. And thank you for listening so far to us. And stay tuned for bigger, better changes. It's going to be great going forward. And I hate this map.
Hate it.
Instant grits?
No self-respecting Southerner uses instant grits. I take pride in my grits.
So, Mr. Tipton, how could it take you 5 minutes to cook your grits when it takes the entire grit-eating world 20 minutes?
I don't know. I'm a fast cook, I guess.
I'm sorry, I was all the way over here. I couldn't hear you. Did you say you're a fast cook? That's it? Are we to believe that boiling water soaks into a grit faster in your kitchen than on any place on the face of the earth?
I don't know.
Well, perhaps the laws of physics cease to exist on your stove. Were these magic grits? I mean, did you buy them from the same guy who sold Jack his beanstalk beans?
Objection, Your Honor. Objection sustained.
Are you
Mr.
sure about that
Tipton,
5
you can
minutes?
ignore the question.
Are you sure about that 5 minutes?
I don't know.
I think you made your point.
Are you sure about that 5 minutes?
I may have been mistaken.
I got no more use for this guy.